What it's going to take? I honestly don't know what it's going to take. I'm serious when I say this. I don't know what it's going to take. There are so many things we're going to talk about, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this wheel spin off. Insured Frames winning kickback quality trivia. We're going to spin for them to be able to get a $50 or $25 Visa gift card before we get into this. I'm going to bring the wheel on, and I'm going to go ahead, tap that wheel, and let's see what it's going to be. Is it going to be another 25? Is it going to be another 50? They've received both for winning kickback quality trivia, and it is going to be $25. Another win for Insured Frames. $25 Visa gift card is going to be coming your way. I just sent Insured Frames a gift card last weekend and the weekend before that, and now Insured Frames will be getting another gift card because they are running amok in quality kickback trivia. That is money for the holidays. But let's get into this. Let's get into this race. Let's get into this race. I'm trying to tell you, I'm like, whoa. All right. We got a bit of choking in this race. We got a bit of Max Verstappen, Mad Max in this race. We got some continuations of making your case not to be in the fastest car next season type race. We got Mercedes again with an abysmal, disrespectful, downright unreliable, horrible, catastrophic, another pit stop by what used to be Formula One's premier and most dominant team. It is crazy. All right. Now let's just talk. Let's you know what? Hold on. Let me do this. Let me bring something up because I really got to bring this up. I got to bring this up so we can look at this because I'm a little bit, it's not something that you have to assume. It's not something that you have to guess about anymore. This is definitely something that they are allowing with Max. And here I call it the Max push. Again, still with Charles. Here we go with Max Verstappen pushing again somebody ultimately wide and off track and nothing being done about it. Just straight up, nothing being done about it. And I've got to wonder, what is it that they need to see from Max Verstappen before they actually penalize him? Rightfully so, because up until now, it's almost like a child, right? It's almost like a child. You have a child that keeps being disobedient. You punish this child, but they keep being disobedient. You can't issue out the same type of punishment. It's not working. I'm not saying even after watching that race, would there have been a major change or swing? But for what happened at the end of this race, possibly. But Max should have been given the order to give the position back. Instead, they give Max the order for 5 seconds, damn well knowing that Red Bull have averaged a gap more than that throughout their entire course of the season. That was not a punishment. And we've seen this time and time again. And it is unfortunate to think that a lot of people are starting to say, some people other than myself, because I have a different approach, that it will only be enough when somebody is largely or bodily injured because Max is pulling these Mad Max type tactics off. Straight up, dive bombing Max, okay? I say Charles and certain other drivers don't have enough balls to hold strong and put Max in the same situation that he is forcing you into and allow them to wreck out. I'm just saying. The mechanic with the super chat says, is the family going to donate for Christmas? The family, I will say this, the family already has donated. I've already taken some of the super chat money along with my own money, and I'm going to purchase. We have a Salvation Army child The week has been hectic for me, bro, honestly. So I already have done it. I will go shopping tomorrow to pick up the shoes for our Salvation Army kid, Kayla. And I will go ahead and drop them off. Of course, I'll take pictures like I did today, posted the video of the Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, but we've already done it. It's just been a little lack on my part, doing the continuity with everything else I've been doing, but it's already taken care of. We're going to get it. Gabriel Sanchez says, is Max good for the sport? 5 seconds for Leclerc, 5 seconds for Leclerc, then immediate unsafe re-entry, then thrown it and Russell get a 5 second. Where does it end? Gabriel, I am wondering the same thing. Where does it end? Max, 5 second penalty, knowing it's not going to do anything. It should have been in order to give the position back. Period. We've seen it so many times in that situation. Give the position back. We saw it in some of the most crucial situations where the race was going to be decided by hundredths of a second. Give the position back. They don't do that. They try to give a 5 second penalty. You gotta know after observing all of this season, 5 seconds is not really a penalty. He needs to give the position back. He took it off track. He pushed him off track. It needs to go back. Then the collision with Russell. I could go back and forth on it. I could be on the fence about the collision with Russell, honestly. After viewing it several times, Russell has got to do better with checking his mirrors. Just being honest. Because going into that apex, Max was more than halfway alongside Russell going into the apex or even at the apex. So to me, it's a racing incident. Because I can see Russell has had a habit of so-called not seeing somebody in his mirrors. Unfortunately, it's true. It's been detrimental to the team until now. And now Max runs into it. But at the same time, Max, that's a late lunge. That's a dive bomb. You dive bombed it. You risked it. You got there. And it caused a collision. To me, it's a racing incident. So I don't think George should have been penalized. I think, honestly, it should have just been classified as a racing incident, no penalty dealt. Then Max doesn't get a penalty for unsafe release. Where does it end? I can't tell you where it ends. I can tell you right now, it's not ending here in Las Vegas. It's not going to stop in Vegas. I can tell you that. I don't think Russell should have got a penalty. I do see both sides, but as the letter of the law, the guidelines as it sits, they both had an opportunity or they both had rights to the apex. Racing incident, no penalty. Max should have been given the order to give the position back to Charles earlier, and Russell should not have been given a penalty for that, and Max should have probably been given a penalty for unsafe release. But I won't debate that one too largely. I won't go tooth and nail for that. Freak Dogs Flair in the super chat says Las Vegas to stay on the calendar, in my opinion. I will say this. I wasn't a big fan of the circuit on look. I wasn't a big fan of the circuit of Las Vegas going into FP1. I wasn't a big fan of the delay of FP2 and the treatment of the fans, and I'm still not a big fan of that. Formula One has to do better with compensating their paying dollar fans when situations like that happen. I wasn't in denial or opposing of the spectacle. You got to do that to sell. So with Max Verstappen talking all this shit about, they don't need that. Yes, they do, Max. How many of you all watch cricket? How many of you all are watching lacrosse? You know why you're not really watching those sports? One, they're not really publicized like that. Two, they're not really advertised to that magnitude. And three, that is what it is. You need the show. You need other things to pair with events in order to give people other things to be entertained with over the weekend. Max, if you seriously don't think it's worth it, I tell you what, let them stop doing it and then watch your check decrease, because teams and Formula One won't have the money to pay you that contract. So watch what you say. It could be a double-edged sword. Everything that they pair with fans being entertained, fans having other things to do, fans and stars being attracted to the race, bring in dollars that will then allow teams to pay you your contracts. Chill out, bro. Chill out. DG Big Blue and Big Navy. Hoorah. Mercedes had the pace today. Sir Lewis Hamilton should have been on the podium. Let's see what the next race has in store for the team. I'm going to tell you right now, Big Blue, Mercedes look horrible. You see that? You see it? Do you see that? One place they didn't have pace was the pit stop. 6.3 seconds. No. No, not at all. Not at all. Mercedes is not off the hook. Toto can rave and boast and you know, just advertise the whole Liberty Media did this, Formula One setting new goals and records. Miss me with that. You need to be more motivated to get your team in a position where they could do better pit stops. You haven't even done that. Don't worry about manhole covers, Toto. Don't worry about defending Liberty Media about manhole covers, Toto. Worry about defending and putting your team in a better position to compete, because it is not happening right now. 6.3 seconds? Are you shitting me? It is horrible. It was ridiculous. Mercedes was I feel you, bro, but I can't give Mercedes no props right now for their performance. Galactus, I told you Vegas was going to be a drag race. Bro, you did say that. You did say Vegas was going to be a drag race, and I'm going to tell you something. The circuit yielded some pretty good racing. It did. And I have to say, I was sitting there thinking to myself, the overall goal of the new era of Formula One car has slowly been coming into play toward the end of this season. It makes me excited about what we will see in 2024, because there were several clusters of cars within hundredths of a second from each other throughout the race. So I want to see what's going to happen next season. I want to see how well these teams will develop these cars, their philosophies. Who's going to change direction? Who's going to improve in direction? Is Mercedes going to do what needs to be done? And when they do it, is it going to be impactful to move them further up to a position that they've fallen from? I am interested in 2024. We will be here for 2024. The mechanic says they had to check the floor. That's why. Okay. What's the Frappuccino? Was the Mercedes pit stop? I mean, hey man, it's still abysmal. I understand all that, but 6.3 seconds. At this point in time, what are you going to do about the floor? I mean, what are you going to do about it? You're checking the floor in pit lane. What are you going to do about it? If the floor is broken, you're going to retire the car. And if you take it back out on track without inspecting the floor, because you can't change the floor in the middle of a race and not be in a Perez situation like they did. Okay, we're going to bring him back. We're going to retire him. Okay, we're not going to retire the car because we don't want to get a penalty, which they weren't in jeopardy of a penalty. But even if the floor is broken in that pit stop, what are you going to do aside from retiring the car? So in my opinion, we don't fuck checking the floor. Get the tire, the puncture change, get them back on track. We'll watch the data and see if there's any further damage that's going to impact this race to the point we're going to retire them. Don't waste time in a pit on something you can't change right now. That's how I feel, bro. That's how I feel. Freak Dogs Flair says, what? Okay, Mercedes pit, I'm telling you. I feel you. I'm with you. Go showed up, though. Now, mechanic, that's a very valid point. That is a very valid point, bro. And you can't deny that. P19 to P7, that in itself is another evidence, another article of evidence that is going to go into my pile of the driver. It is what is impactful more than the car. The car is dust buckets. The driver is managing a horrible situation and making the best of it. Lewis Hamilton, P19 to P7, yes, that is something to be applauded. Straight up, that's something to be applauded. Is the position the best that you would want? No. But the difference in where he started to where he ended up, and then all of the adversity that he went up against, possible damage from debris, then having a puncture, That in itself is way more credit to Lewis Hamilton for putting Mercedes up that many spots. Big shout out to Mechanic for that recognition right there. Freak Dogs Flair say, I couldn't say, I got you, bro. I realized what you were doing. It was very creative. Galacticus would appreciate it. He likes people that get creative with the curse words. You know, that I got what you was putting down. I do like that. Gabriel says, no shame, but Merc had a husky boy on the Jacks. Oh my gosh, Gabriel said he's not body shaming. I want to put that out there for Gabriel. He's not body shaming. He's just saying that, hey, maybe somebody was moving a bit too slow on the jacks in the pit stop, and that didn't help at all. I understand that. DG Big Blue, next season, Williams will be in P5, P6 in the World Constructors Championship. DG Big Blue, I am telling you right now, I will go off. I am going to be lit to see Williams in P5 or P6 in the World Constructors Championship if that happens next season. I am going to be extremely lit if I see Albon make podium next season, even if it's Logan Sargent. If he's given another opportunity with Williams and he can show Williams that I am doing better and he is in top 5 more often than not, which is not going to happen in a race. But if it does happen, I will be lit for that. If Albon gets a podium, I will be lit for that. If Williams is P5 or P6 in the WCC, I will be lit for that. A team that has fallen from the graces of heaven and returning to that altitude, that's something also to be celebrated. Galacticus says, will they move Vegas sooner to end the year? You know, I think that's something they will consider, but I don't know if they will do it. How many other races or circuits have we said? Spa, we said, move it somewhere in a different year. We understand where it is geographically and what kind of affects it. But is there somewhere else in the calendar? Do you see that? You see that pit stop? Is there somewhere else in the calendar where we're not going to be heavily impacted by rain? It's hard, but is it possible? I don't know if they move Vegas somewhere else in the season. But I can tell you this, that Vegas has more of leverage because of what it means to Liberty Media. It's got more leverage that it's possible that they would do something like that. It's possible that they may move it up to, let's say, September, October timeframe. That's possible because of what it means to them. It's their baby. It's their care child. It's the money bag grab. And if that money bag grab is better if they move it up. Remember what Toto said. Now, Toto put his foot in his damn mouth. He put his foot in his mouth at that press conference when he said, it's something o'clock in the morning. Nobody over in the UK is even watching this. Toto, you probably shouldn't have said that. So what you're saying is, it only matters if people in the UK are up watching. The fact that you Americans are watching this sport really don't matter. So who gives a damn about this manhole cover? Because nobody's watching this in the UK anyway. I'm just saying that's what you said, Toto. So if you said something and you felt like maybe you shouldn't have said it, then I feel like maybe you should think about what you did say. Maybe that's what you should do. Maybe you should think about what you did say, and maybe you probably should not say it again. Because it didn't go over well, in my opinion, that you said that. So I'm just saying, maybe you kind of want to say you misspoke, because it kind of came off like Americans watching this sport is not important. That's how it came off. That's how it came off to me anyway. You know, who's watching it over in the UK at this point in time anyway? Well, shit, I mean, does it matter that this race is in the US? Maybe it matters to us. Maybe it matters. I mean, if it don't matter to you is one thing, but I think it matters to other people that they are watching and paying money to watch this race, Formula One TV apps and all types of other stuff. So if it don't matter to any other demographic than what's in the UK, everybody in the US, don't worry about buying Formula One tickets. Don't worry about paying for the Formula One TV app. Don't worry about going to getting 3-day passes. Don't worry about buying Formula One merch. And then let's see where Toto stands on that type of comment later on down the line. We'll see about that. The mechanic says that's a fair point, big bro. No need to check the floor if it can't be changed immediately. That's just my opinion, bro. I mean, like you said, it still doesn't change the fact that you are correct, the mechanic. Because you are the mechanic. You still are correct about what took place in order to prolong that pit stop. You're still correct about that. It's just that I think if you can't do anything about it, then why waste the time on it? You know what I'm saying? But both points are very valid, okay? Definitely for that. Humpback, big shout out. Is Max pushing people off common occurrence? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a common occurrence now. Max pushing people off track is going to be a common occurrence because they're not doing anything about it. That's why it's going to be a common occurrence. They're not doing any damn thing about it. They're not penalizing him for it, so he thinks it's okay to do. He straight up thinks it's okay to do. And he's going to keep doing it because they're going to keep allowing him to do it with a little pat in the hand. It's a problem. It is a problem. And they need to attend to it. I'm just being straight up. He don't give a damn about it. Look at him. That's what he's doing. That's the type of situation Max is doing. He doesn't care. Look at this. If it don't get more egregious than this season from Max, look how far he pushed Charles over that time. And now here we are in Vegas, and he does it again. Yes, he's going to keep doing it because they're allowing him to get away with it with very cheap penalties. So, yeah. It's going to happen. And I don't think it's going to change until somebody gets hurt. Or you know what? When it's going to change is when another driver decides, I'm going to put his ass in the wall. Yeah, I'm going to put him in the wall. Somebody's got to spank Max. And then what's going to happen is they're going to spank that driver with a penalty because they're going to cuddle Max on the situation. But listen, all you Formula One competitive drivers that week in and week out, except for break weeks, risk your life, are driving in a very dangerous sport and do so very fiercely, you're going to have to grow some balls and stand up against Max on track so he knows you can't try me like that. That's what it's going to take. And until somebody does that, Max thinks he's going to get away with it because he is. Until they penalize Max, he's going to do it because he's going to get away with it because he has. Just straight up. Just calling it like I see it. Spider R35. By the way, it is 2:58 a.m. in the morning. I'm up. I'm popping. Toto, I'm up watching Formula One. Give me some credit. I don't know if your family over in the UK are watching Formula One, but hey, I'm watching it on 2 screens. Spider R35. This was the race of the year, action-packed. I think I might have to agree with that. I think there's one other race that might be competitive with Vegas, but I think I might have to agree with, I don't know, there might be one other race. I'm going to have to go back and see. I think that's a very good something that we'll go into. I think that's a very good statement you made. It was action-packed throughout the entire race. All 50 laps, throughout the 50 laps, there were very small gaps if there was nothing going on. We've seen or had so many races this season where you could just walk and leave the TV and you're not going to miss anything. Once they got into position, the top order, the bottom order, nothing really changed aside if there was going to be an incident. There was a lot of overtaking. They changed race leaders like 3 times within 5 or 6 laps. That was crazy in itself. So yeah, Vegas and this circuit of Vegas at least has proven to me in this one body of work, I would like to see it next season, and we want to see what happens next season. And like Galacticus alluded to, will they change it where it is on the calendar? I want to see it again, see what happens. This is the first time this race went off. It didn't go off without a hitch. It started off very rough. It definitely damaged Ferrari. It definitely was impactful negatively on fans. But it's the first race. I understand that. Things will happen. It's not an excuse for the fact that you overlooked the situation that could have been hugely unsafe, but it's to say still, mistakes happen. Usually when somebody launches something, it's not going to just go off flawlessly. So I want to see what they do next season, see how this race looks in 2024. But I am very optimistic about it, and I did enjoy the race tonight. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the race, all 50 laps. So let's see. Freak Dogs Flair says, replace Abu Dhabi with Vegas. Damn, Freak Dogs Flair coming with some fire. Bro, you think it's like that? You think it's like that? I'm not opposed of it. Abu Dhabi's coming up next week, Thanksgiving after this. By the way, big shout out to all the Wolfpack fam. I posted the video of me delivering, the love and the care that you all had for the super chats going into family homes and making them smile. But Freak Dog's Flair is on his ish tonight, or in the morning, wee hours of the morning. Replace Abu Dhabi with Vegas. That's a big splash, bro. I don't know if they do that, but I ain't mad if they do. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Vegas is the last race, you could just exchange them. You could swap them. And Galacticus, tough break for Lando. Hope he's okay. Pia did good. And McLaren had a full plate this weekend. McLaren had a full plate this weekend. And when I mean full plate, I am serious. Lando Norris out of the race while going into the wall. By the way, I like what Shaq had to say about Brundle when he interviewed him. Just straight up Lewis Hamilton, get the hell out of my face. But back into this, Lando out of the race to what seemed no fault but to his own or situation. And Pia at least holding it together to bring in at least 1 point for the team nearing the end of the season. I will also say this. I don't know, maybe it's Alex. When you do see this video, you do have a bet to fulfill. You do have a bet to fulfill because as it sits right now, I called it. Haas would be out of the top 10. They did not make it. Hulk didn't finish the race. As he saw, he went into the runoff area. K-Mag unable to sneak into the top 10, forced to 13. I don't know, maybe it's Alex. Tomorrow on the live show, F1 Minute, we're going to talk about the Vegas race. That probably will be the main topic. I want to hear what you all think. But Alex, at some point in time, will have to hold up that sheet of paper, and you know what it's got to say. You know what it's got to say. I know it's going to pain you, but you're going to have to do it. Y'all want to be here live to see that. Big shout out to... Let's see, Les430 dropping a Wolfpack membership in the chat. Let's see who got that membership before I get on with the rest of the super chats. It is Mabuza. Mabuza has the Wolfpack membership. Get into the Discord. Get active with us. Back to the super chats. Let me see what we got. The next super chat was Freak Dogs Flair says, by this, I mean make Vegas the last. Okay, so we were along the same lines. I was saying swap them out. That's pretty much you were meaning. Don't take Abu Dhabi off, but swap them out, make Vegas the last race. And I think that might be actually a good thing to do if Vegas continues to deliver like this. I think we need at least 3 seasons with Vegas to make that stab in the ground to say, hey, this should be the last race. It delivers highly competitive situations, a good amount of overtaking, challenging overtaking positions and situations. Listen, the overtakes by Perez and Charles, to me, were the highlight of the race. That overtake from Charles, very go ahead and go get it done, sir. Perez, very go ahead and get it done. But we will talk about Perez shortly here, too. The mechanic says Max had the nerve to make fun of the stewards after they gave him a penalty. He knew it was a slap. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Max literally made a mockery, made a joke of the penalty that they handed him. Why? Because he know that ain't finna impact me that much. I'm not worried about it. I'm not at all worried about it. I'm not. Oh, well, shits and giggles. Who gives a damn? He's not worried about it. But I'm going to tell you this. Why wasn't he worried about it? Well, that's why he wasn't worried about it. Not at all. He's not worried about it because the gap that he was going to put out there. But I will say this. That gap didn't grow as largely as I thought it would. It didn't. It didn't grow as largely as I thought it would. I will say that. I thought the gap would be bigger. But Las Vegas being an unknown for all the teams is what I think saved that gap from being so large to the point where it could have been a lot bigger. I think that's what that case is. And having a 5-second penalty on his time and seeing the gap that he had to Charles in the Vegas GP, he got a 5-second time penalty. And the gap between he and Charles was only 2 seconds. So, yeah, that penalty could come into play. Yeah, it could come into play. So I thought it would have been a bigger gap. I was incorrect about the gap that I thought Red Bull would be able to build up, but I also, in that moment, didn't consider that it was a new track. Everybody kind of had their situations with it. And yeah, he didn't gap Charles by more than 5 seconds toward the end of the race. So yeah, definitely on that. But still, it doesn't change my opinion that he should have been ordered to give the position back, in my opinion, right there on site. So let's see. Spider R35 says this podium presentation kind of lit with the screen. Yeah, podium presentation is lit. Listen, overall, the presentation for Vegas overall has been lit. I take nothing away from the overall packaging, presentation, the extra events added on, the star-studded power, everything that came along with promoting the Vegas race has been up to par on a very large scale. It's just that, like Fred Vasseur said, I am not willing to overlook what will impact our team and other drivers on track for what they do to promote and make the race exciting. Two separate things, and he's right about that. So yes, everything, spectacle, entertainment, boom, 2 thumbs up. As far as what happened with the track damaging Ferrari and other things, you got some things to improve. But the track layout, I think, yielded very good competitive situations, and I think the DRS setup, don't change it. I think the DRS setup is fine. Let's not go overboard. Let's not try to add another. Let's not do any of that. Leave everything alone, at least for 3 seasons, so we can really get a good handle on, is it everything coming together? Because this is the first time, like I said, first event, and racing was good. Racing was good at the end of the day. So I will say that. But nobody's going to forget about that manhole cover, Toto. I'm not forgetting about it. Nobody's going to forget about that. That's going to be there. We're still going to be talking about that. It's Monday morning and we're talking about it. The mechanic, Spider R35, Gabriel Sanchez says, did the cost cap put the balls away in racing? Ooh, man. Damn, Gabriel, that's a solid mention. That's a solid mention, bro. Is that an impact? You know what? Maybe I'm going to put that down as a F1 minute topic along with the Vegas GP. So we got Vegas GP overall, and then cost cap, castrating balls. That's a good mention. That is something to ask. I mean, because that could be a real situation. Has the cost cap in itself made drivers and teams play the game a bit softer? Has it put the situation in more of an advantage for a driver like Max Verstappen, who will put you in a situation where you have to decide, do you want to finish this race or do you want to take away at your cost cap by wrecking in this race? That's not a bad question, bro. I tell you what, that question is so good to me, I'm going to put it up as a poll. I'm going to put that as a poll. That to me is a good one. That's a good one. We will start that poll. Poll in the chat. Don't dance on it. Just vote on it. Very good one, Gabriel. When I see stuff like, I want to turn that into a poll. So we'll see what others have to say in the chat. As there are over 1,000 people have been in here and you haven't hit like. We got 66 likes. I'm likely to turn this whole damn live right the hell off if we don't get those likes up. Please hit likes. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. I am passionate and dedicated about my content and being here with you all post-race. At least you can do is hit like. It is completely free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Completely free. Come on now. Don't come in my house. Don't wipe your shoes on the rug, go in my refrigerator, get a drink, and just plop your ass on the couch. Hit the like button. Let's see. Mary Beanie. I'm pissed as hell. I've had 6 hours of sleep since Thursday. They spent all that money. I would rather Kalami than Vegas. FIA need to get a Red Bull backside. Get our Red Bull backside period. I'm gonna tell you like this. Kalami, definitely I would like to see it on the calendar. I would like to see, I think the situation that rised up and now has been just, where is it? Where is this whole supplying Russia with weapons? Think about it. Them supplying Russia, like, it's crazy. But that whole situation, where is it now? We haven't heard anything about it. Where is it? I do think Kalami should be allowed to be on the schedule. I do think there should be a race in South Africa. Those people definitely support Formula One. I mean, did you see 2021 when Max won? There was an entire pub in Africa where they went crazy. Don't tell me that they don't deserve to have a race out there with the amount of support and passion that they are about racing. And I think the situation that they brought up to now ignore Kalami was crazy, and it was disrespectful. You know how many situations you got in other parts of the world where tracks already exist and you didn't bat an eye at going in there and still having a race? Don't make me remind you that a woman had her head cut off and you still went in there weeks later to have a race in that region. Stop playing. And that's not even funny. Come on. The double standard is real out here. Let's see what else we got. We got Humpback says a bit confused. Could someone put it into perspective with why Sainz is penalized for a track podium in FP1? Would have been easier for Charles to have his teammate up there. I will say this because I did think about that. And maybe that's something we asked. I'm not sure if it was correct, although we could say things happen. But with that situation, was a direct result of something that Formula One and Liberty Media and FOM and FIA totally overlooked, and it damaged the car, which caused that team to make repairs because of the track being unstat. And then they got penalized to 10th grid on position. I'm with Humpback on that. I don't know if that's really what should have been done. Like, honestly, I don't know if that's something that they really should have did in that position. So that's a good one as well. That's a good one. Damn, I think that's another super chat that should be converted into a poll. I think that's another super chat we should convert into a poll. Right now, 86% said yes, the cost cap has made teams and drivers weak. The next poll we have coming up is this. And we are going to poll that because I think that is also something that I think that was a good one right there. And let me go back. And it is, okay, I think that's a good one. Should Ferrari cause the damage? That's the best way I'm going to word it, hell, for this early in the morning. So, yeah, should Ferrari have been penalized for track causing damage to that car because it was a direct result of something they overlooked? Next up is Galacticus. Max screwed Perez again by not giving him the toe. You know what, Galacticus? I'm going to tell you like this. I knew damn well Max wasn't going to do much to give Perez no damn toe. Save me with all the verbiage. Bro, you didn't back it up enough for Perez to get up on it at all. And Galactics, I'm with you on that. Mary Beanie, 53 likes and 210 people in the live chat. Smash the like button. Facts, we got more than 210, and we've had almost 1,500 views coming through here. So, yeah, smash the like button. Stop playing the game. Thank you very much, Mary Beanie. Les 430 says probably the best race up and down the field. If they tone the fluff right down and fix the organization, then it's a keeper for me. I'm with you on that. Milton Warren Jr., first time Super Chat. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the Super Chat fam. This season should be opened and closed with the level of showmanship. The cars are getting closer and closer. Milton, I was just speaking about that, bro. Just speaking about that. These cars are getting closer and closer. That's a fact. Big shout out for your first time doing the Super Chat. Appreciate you much. You see what we got going on here in the fam. And big shout out to all the people that are finding the channel. Like, we've had gobs of people finding the channel and are enjoying it. And we got gobs of haters that keep coming back to the channel because they enjoy, keep supporting haters. Galacticus, without cap, small teams will be crushed. Need cap. I will say this. I'm going to say this. The small teams even now, Galacticus, because there's an argument to be made both ways. Because I think it's kind of backhanded, right? We say small teams will be crushed, but in the same breath, we say that small teams like Williams are unable to catch up to the bigger competitive teams because of the cost cap. So what's it going to be? Because Williams need to update their facilities, but they can't because of the cost cap. There are a lot of developments that Williams would like to do, but they can't because of the cost cap. So I'm just saying there's some argument both ways. Both ways the game could be played. So I think there needs to be readdressed, definitely. It needs to be readdressed. Spider R35 says, get rid of the tracks with little to no overtakes. I'm with you. Monaco. Hey, what I think about Monaco, put it in the trash, yo. Just saying, Monaco, put it in the trash. Save Monaco for like one of those break races where it's just like a celebratory race. Like we go back there, have a good time, but it ain't on the calendar like that. Monaco is one of those races for sure. I'll tell you what, Vegas going to be in one of the 10 races for the race Wolfpack Epic Grudge Race Series coming up. I can tell you that Vegas made it on that calendar. I'm going to come up with those 10 races, and Vegas is going to be one of them. Spider R35, appreciate that. So listen, we'll go into this. I did think for a moment, we're going to go back to this right here. Ocon in the top 5 position, Gasly 11th. I did see a lot of flack about Ocon getting handed his business by Gasly. Well, what I can say right now is not in this race. Ocon number 4. I did think for a minute that they were going to wreck each other out as they were going back and forth on the track. I'm not too sure that Alpine can say that they settled on this driver pairing. I'm dead serious. It's to me been very under the water or under the table toxic at Alpine with the driver pairing. They might want to revisit that. Somebody may have to go. These drivers do not agree with each other, and I'm not saying drivers have to agree with each other for you to have a good team, but when situations like what happened in Australia, when situations like what could have potentially happened tonight, when situations have happened like they had in races before with team orders, you're going to get these drivers to understand they have to work healthy together but be competitive against each other, but I'm not sure if it's the best thing for Alpine, but hey, Alpine may know better than me, and we'll see what they do going forward. The mechanic says you haven't said anything about Salty and Strolly. And I'm going to tell you something why I haven't. I'm going to tell you. Stroll, congratulations, top 5. Alonso, you were backwards on track. That's what I will say. Stroll, probably, that might be like his best finish of the season, honestly. And I don't know if that's going to happen next season. I think something that may have led to that is, track evolution and the fact that the track is brand new to everybody, and Stroll, credit for adapting and making it happen. Alonso having an unfortunate situation, but yeah, Stroll still where he finished, but I don't think there was much to say about them because, it was almost like, how much have I said about Mercedes? Not really much. The Mercedes and Aston Martin disappointed me in this race. Honestly, they disappointed me the weekend, especially Mercedes. McLaren also disappointed me this week with everything that's been going on. So that's how I pretty much feel about Mercedes, Aston Martin, and McLaren. McLaren had a rough week, and Lando went into this race and had a rough going out, and he literally went out. Pia managing to grab that last point. Lance Stroll should probably cut that facial hair off. It's not looking too great on him, but hey, keep trying it out. Maybe you grow a full beard and make something happen. But congratulations to Lance Stroll for a top 5 finish. Definitely. Ocon's also in 4th. So what does that kind of say? Just putting it out there. Mercedes struggled like they've been struggling. Logan Sargent damn near went out. Albon still finishes on top of him. So that's what I got to say about that. It's just, I'm not too surprised about that. Sainz, another tough break. It is what it is. And I can say that at least the top 10 is there. I think Hamilton did his thing to come from P19 to P7. I think Alonso still managing to stay in points after the situation. Of course, safety car came out and made for an opportunity to keep that from being too bad. But, Alonso's had an awesome season in bringing podiums to Aston Martin. Stroll has yet to do that. And although probably the best finish of his season, it's still not good enough compared to what should have been able to be done in that car. And the fact that he couldn't do it is an indictment on him as a driver. It is still. P5 is not what we were looking for, given Alonso has 8 podiums. So I'm not overly excited about his P5, but I can congratulate him on a top 5 finish, as he's been horrible this season. Galacticus, did Daddy Stroll sell the Aston Martin team? I don't know. We're going to see about that. I haven't heard any news on that. I know a lot of us, or a lot of people were putting that out there in the air that it might be possible, but I just don't think it makes a lot of sense right now. You got the new facilities coming. You got everything else that you got coming together. I would think that he would probably want another season or so at the helm of all of that coming into fruition. The new launch coming in 2024. Can Stroll do better in 2024? I would think that Lawrence would want to do something to kind of be in control or at the head of that table before handing the team off and selling it. That's just in my opinion. If you stuck in here this long with your son, who really hasn't been great at all this season, you didn't even want to change him, I don't see him wanting to change direction or change stream just now. I see him wanting to be, the forefront, the Jerry Jones of Formula One, with a team who very well could come back and have a very impactful season next season. McLaren as well. It could be a very good dogfight next season. We got to see how these teams are going to develop in the offseason and coming into testing, because I'm very interested to see what is going to happen there. Definitely. So let's talk about, and it's 3:20 in the morning here, because there's a lot of stuff to unpack with this Vegas GP. But can we talk about Perez choking? I mean, Perez not choking, but Perez, it was cool in Brazil, I believe. It was the Brazil race where you and Alonso just come down to the final lap. And excuse me if I got the GP wrong, but I'm pretty sure you all will correct me in the super chat. But that was awesome. But I still said it was a bit of an indictment, like a nail in your coffin for Red Bull, like viewing you as their driver pairing with Max Verstappen. But here it is again. And we're going to excuse the fact Max didn't give him the toe, but here is again Perez, an opportunity for second on podium or third on podium. Second on podium. And what you do is you give up another position in the final lap, bro. It's like, I'm happy for you being on podium, but I'm like, God damn. You gave up another position. You gave up a position in the final lap again, Perez. I just don't know where to really take it at this point. And then Charles, you choked. Charles, you made it back. And bro, I'm going to give you full credit. I'm going to give you full kudos. Charles Leclerc, I'm giving you full kudos, bro. Because what you did to get that position in that final lap told me that Charles does have some dog in him, but it ain't big dog enough, because you let Max Verstappen constantly puck you out of position. But what Charles did to gain that position back and make that overtake happen, hey, that was solid, bro. That was solid. But you need to grow some bigger balls and have a bit more big fight in you when Max start pushing your ass off track. That's just my opinion. I don't know what yours is. And you damn near choked going off track, keeping yourself off podium, damn near taking yourself off podium. It could have been worse, but you choked a little bit. You just calm down on the Ferrari chokes. Ferrari be choking, man. They be out here choking on strategy. They be out here choking with the drivers. They be out here choking in the pits. Like, Ferrari about to get the choke meme for real. Like, y'all, like I said, 245s, boom, shooting himself in the foot. So what Ferrari likes to do. But big shout out to Charles for making that comeback, because that was he really went for it. He really went for it. Now, would he have gone for it like that if it was Max? I don't know. Maybe he trusts Checo a bit more than he trusts Max. But I don't know if he would have gave a damn, because Charles threw that thing down through there for real. He did that. I'm going to give him props for that. For facts, I'm going to give Charles props for that. But you damn near choked it all off. Then let's just go into Haas. Let's just go into Haas, because you see it. Didn't finish, and damn sure didn't make top 10. And there was a lot of talk about Haas and their tire dig and how this was going to facilitate them and how they were going to have a... Stop it. Stop it. There was also plenty of talk, to be fair, about Williams and We got to stop it. They didn't finish. They didn't even finish in the top 10. Haas damn near almost not even top 15. One car didn't even finish at all. So there's your tire dig. There's your, this track's going to suit them just fine. It didn't. They sucked at it. So that's what I think. This was a good race overall. It is now about to be 5 minutes from 3:30 in the morning. I've been up. I don't even want to say how long I've been up. It is what it is. I'm here with you. So, hey, I am definitely. Let's see what you all said on that poll, though. Let's see what you said on that poll. 88% of people said no, they should not have been penalized. And I am in agreement with that. I don't think Ferrari should have been penalized. I don't. By the way, we are going to be in Wolves Den today. I know I missed it yesterday because I was out, getting everything we had for supporting families for Thanksgiving coming up next week, hand delivering those baskets to those families. Once again, big shout out to the Wolfpack family members, the viewers, everybody that contributed during that live event. The money went into a good thing. Families will have Thanksgiving dinner because of us. I really appreciate you. I will be doing the shopping for our Christmas kid and posting those shoes that I buy for that kid coming up tomorrow, actually. And I also have to try to make it out an hour and a half away to pick up car parts as well. So another full day for me, a little less sleep, but big shout out to you all for that as well. DJ Big Blue says Aston Martin sold a minority stake to a U.S. investment firm. There we go. DG Big Blue coming with some news off the whim, bro. Thank you. A minority stake. So a little bit of money, some capital, some financial investment there. As, hey, Aston Martin's going to be moving into a works team. So that's very exciting for them as well, pairing with Honda, and Ford will go to Red Bull. That's going to be a game changer. That's going to be a game changer coming up soon in the new era of Formula One as we see 2026 in the distance, on the horizon. It's approaching. Next year, it's only going to be 2 seasons away. 2026 is only going to be 2 seasons away, y'all. It's coming soon. So, hey, go get yourself some sleep. Some of you are probably going to get breakfast. I kind of feel like eating before I go to sleep. I might go to IHOP. I might go down to the Waffle House, get me a little grub, and then, try to hop in the sack for about 2 hours and get up and do it all. I'm going to post the link for the Wolves Den so we can all get in here and talk about that, because I know a lot of us are going to have a lot of shit to say. I know we're going to have a lot of shit to say in the Wolves Den. Once again, big shout out, Insured Frames, winning another Visa gift card. I'm going to write that down here. Put it on my iPhone so I don't forget to pick up your Visa gift card and ship that to you, sir. Like I have shipped out so much cash. Y'all come and win some money. We having fun at the Wolfpack family. We have fun here. We're the best platform on the planet for Formula One content. It's so mixed up and diverse here. You can't show me another platform in Formula One that's doing what we do. They're not doing it. We do it. Okay, we do it. We've done a lot. And I don't give a damn what people say about us or where the hell they're going to invite us. We are the shit here. And people watch us. Straight up fact. So big shout out to you all. I'm going to get ready to leave here. I will see you all in the Wolves Den later on. I'm going to post that link so we can go ahead and chop it up in the Discord. If you are a new family member, you just joined the family, download the Discord, get into the group. They be in there chatting it up. They be doing the thing. It's where I give you more control about the community and have a good time. So guess what? I will say this. Haas did not make top 10. Alex, I need to see you with that sign at F1 Minute tomorrow, Monday at 7:30 p.m. I need to see you. Other than that, OG Zilla says Wolfpack fam is fire. And on that note, we going to end it. Peace.